Hello and welcome to episode 76 of Comics with Stevey D. And this is a very special episode. I've been doing a lot of reading and I found this book in the dollar bin, and it is Thor's #1 from 2015, variant cover art by John Tyler Christopher. The Thors of Battleworld are the police force of Dr. Doom. Battleworld is what is left of the multiverse after it was destroyed. And I have a lot of interior shots to show you on this. It's like the little toy cover. The first one, here's a group of Thors. It's like a crime scene investigation going on. And I don't know if you noticed, there's a Groot Thor in there. And then there's a cool couple other scenes I want to show you. Here you go. The Ghost Riders were causing trouble, and the Thors break up a Ghost Rider biker band. And so the Ghost Riders are from various existence parallel Earths, but everything was destroyed, so they all ended up on Battleworld. And Dr. Doom runs the show, and Odin is like the chief of police. There he is up there, and he's all like all cop stories. He's yelling at everybody, hollering and fussing. And there's the Frog Thor, who is a forensic scientist, coroner. See his little hammer? and there's one more scene I want to show you. They're Valhalla's Mead Hall. That's where all the cops get, a cop's bar. Well, here's the Thor's bar. And if you look over the top of the bar, you see all their hammers hanging, ready to go. Like in a firehouse, how everything's all ready to go. So that's the Thors. It was a really good read. I might have to get the other ones. I think it's 4-issue series. Next is a DC comic. World of Krypton 1B from 2021. Cover art by D'Amico. The Final Days of Krypton. And it's political intrigue and conspiracies and the planets breaking up, but the people don't know yet. And I guess that Superman is a baby there. I read it. It was a good. Now the next 6 books is what I read, and I really enjoyed them. Here's Primordial. And the artwork is excellent. The story's excellent. A 6-issue miniseries about a Cold War sci-fi space story written by Jeff Lemire. Stories about the first Russian dog in space and 2 American monkeys that were the next in space. Well, the Russian space program failed and the American space program failed, and they thought these animals were dead. But the animals were taken in by an extraterrestrial, which you never see. It's a crystal ship they're in. And the story goes, these covers are so cool. Look at that. It's like this way, it looks good too, And there's Lackey, the Russian dog. I thought that was a great space helmet cover. And there's an American scientist that was sent to shut down the American space communications array and everything. Well, there was data showing that these things were alive, and this is 1961 or so, but they were thought to be dead, and they were getting information. And the dog, a female Russian scientist, and the dog were close. The dog was a Russian dog they just picked up off the street to put in the capsule. And here's the American monkey. That's a really trippy cover. If you he's right in the center. And that's an interesting cover. And the three of these people are enhanced. They talk in 1, 2, and 3 word sentences. The artwork is great. They don't age. It goes from 1960 to 2024 or something like that. And they're trying to get home. The dog misses her so much. It's like a dog trying to find its way home from the far reaches of outer space. Well, the Russians and the Americans end up having a war halfway through, and Europe is divided up, and so they have a the African American scientist. He was shot by a Russian guard, and he died. But the lady scientist, the Russian scientist, she lived 60 more years, so she's an old lady, and they're just trying to get back to home. And there's her hands, the Russian scientist, and there's the dog. And I cannot recommend. This is an Image, an Image comic. This series was a delightful change of pace from all the superhero books I read. And I recommend it highly. Best read of the week, I would say. Okay, here's an ugly comic book, but I'm going to put it up there anyway. Marvel Knights Double Shot, number 2 from 2002, 40 pages. Painted cover by Glenn Farby. Nick Fury and the Man-Thing. And the Man-Thing is a skinny, anorexic Man-Thing. He's got muscles but no bulk. And Nick Fury, he's got a bad complexion. What can I say? Not every cover is a terrific cover. All right, we got a Marvel team-up. Spider-Man and Captain America versus the Scorpion. Frank Miller cover from 1981, issue number 106. And there's about 5 or so comic books that have Spider-Man and Captain America together, and I own a couple of them already. So I'm going to collect the other 3 or so. I just like Iron Man, and so Marvel Team Up, he's in there too. Here's an Marvel Milestone Edition. It is the formation of the new team. Avengers reprint. I think it was 16. Yeah, issue 16. And they give you the new lineup of Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and the Scarlet Witch. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are the creators from 1965. Okay, here's a more modern comic. Avengers number 11. This has everybody on the cover almost. Number 11 from 2013. Cover art by Dustin Weaver and Justin Ponzer. Lots of heroines on the cover. Spider-Woman, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, and then a couple of guys. Cannonball, Sunspot, and Shang-Chi is in the center. It's a neat cover. It has all those characters. And it's kind of like a spy story. Here's the toughest hero in all of known existence. Gru the Wanderer. Sir Joni. Gotta make sure I say his last name. Aragones. Sergio Aragones. Had to have it. I got about 5 or 6 Gru books. And I love the ones where he's got the sword. He is strong like Conan the Barbarian, but dumb like the Three Stooges. So it makes a great comic. All right, another first issue. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This will go in my Halloween show. Number 1 from 1976. And it's a bigger issue. 52 pages. adapted from the classic Robert Louis Stevenson novel. And I watched the movie when I was a kid with Spencer Tracy portraying Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was a really good movie back then. It caught my imagination. There's also I was trying to find Masterpiece Illustrated, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and then there's a modern one with a abstract art cover, which has his face is kind of like two-faced. One side's the proper English gentleman, the other one's all spastic. But he kind of has a transformation into Hyde and kind of looks like a werewolf. That's a Marvel comic, 50 Center from 1976, which is pretty good. All right, Age of Conan, Ballet. Number one, it's a comic novella. I think it's in 5 parts. She's the daughter of a pirate admiral that retired, and they marooned him on a sandbar, and he didn't want to die that death of just, so his daughter had to finish him off because he wanted her to. And she's out trying to become the queen of the pirates. And that is a very sensual cover. When I have my voluptuous vixens of comic books, I think I'm going to add her to my Red Sonja and Vampirella, and Moondragon was pretty sexy in them comics too. And I'm finishing off with another first issue. This is Iron Man number 1 from 1998, and it's Hero's Return. And I love Iron Man covers where he's being chased by missiles, where he dodges them. Sometimes they hit him, but it bounces off most of the time. Okay, so that's with Iron Man. So I'll leave him up there, and I just want to say thank you for everybody who's been watching the show, and please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'm interested in what you think about the books I'm showing, and or if you have any of the same books. But leave me a comment, and I'll be happy to reply. And that is my show for today. And I have space covers 2, I guess. I had a long one on my first one, but I've got some books in, so I want to show them off. And then my Captain America countdown. I'm down to the last 2 books to complete the run. It's 100, the first issue, and it's the one I can't remember. It's 111 or 113. It's a Steranko cover where he's got the shield up in the air and the crew's behind him, and those are the 2 books. And I'm thinking about just having a placeholder by getting Marvel Super Action Comics of reprints of those covers, and they're in much nicer shape than the ones you can spend $250 on. But I'm going to get the first issue. I'm going to get the original, and the other one too, if I can find it or trade for it or whatever. You know what we do to get our books? We jump through hoops of fire and hope we don't get our tails singed. Well, with that, take care and keep on hunting for them comic books. Get them grails, get them key issues, interesting covers, anything that catches your attention. Good buys. $1 books for 50 cents, 4 for $1, stuff like that. All right, take care. Bye-bye.